the mental side of baseball for this comedic routine that's awesome. I have special backstop guest, the legendary Tom Brady Shih Tzu. What are we talking about? We're talking about what they do teach you at Cal State Fullerton, University of Illinois, back to Cal State Fullerton, and then over onto University of Texas. Are we going to go inning by inning? Yeah, but that's a pretty big chunk, a pretty big PhD thesis going a full inning by inning. Am I quoting my mentor over and over and over again via sequel concepts to Augie Garrido's teachings? Oh yeah, we're going to go, yes, inning to inning, but we're also going to go pitch to pitch, moment to moment in the present as we dig into the hidden psychology of baseball. 40% of it's mental, 70% of it's physical. How are we able to take 5 tools that we have partially developed, fully developed, into that valuable 6th and, dare I say, 7th tool? Jumping right into it, number 1, adjusting to adjustments. Yes, baseball is a game of adjustments, but what does that mean and how does that work for me psychologically? For us, let's say there was a previous success. You just hit a homer. What are you looking to do this time? Oh, you're thinking about hitting a homer again, aren't you? Maybe you should adjust to their adjustment because they will be nibbling on the 3-1 pitch. They will be wasting one on 0-2. They will be assuming that you're super aggressive. Adjusting to the adjustments requires a handful of things. 1, listening to your coach. 2, split dissociating yourself from the home run hitter that you just hit, thinking that you're hitting 4 dingers in one game. 3, having the wherewithal to psychologically manipulate the pitcher into a 2-0 count or a 3-1 count. You're not going to get first pitch fastball. You just hit a fastball for a homer less than 20 minutes ago. Adjusting to adjustments, critical. Am I quoting Harvey Dorfman? Yeah. While I dig into a Jeff Kent quote, who has an offspring who plays baseball as well. Oh. Dealing with silence and being able to work on baseball skills in the real world. Put a pin in that one because we're jumping right into Jeff Kent. You need to play this game with a mental capacity that's mature and patient. Sometimes a youthful, strong kid can play the game above the shoulders. This is a game you can play with bad body parts and still be successful. I think that's been a pure key to my success. Jeff Kent, 2000 MVP, San Francisco Giants. Baseball's a game where all 9 opponents can be better than our team, yet we can still win. Is this something that is Tom Brady's mantra? No. He's all about team stacking, which is why he plays football. Football, if all 11 guys are not as good, you're going to have a hard time winning the line of scrimmage. You're going to have a hard time winning in the second line of defense. You're going to have a hard time getting deep into the secondary. In baseball has this, which is bullet point number 2. Perfect. It is base camp. It is a base camp of awesome sauce. This is Harvey Dorfman's book. You should put this in your baseball bag. In fact, don't think of showcases as showing you again. Don't think of showcases as a showcase. Think of it as a book club, because you're pretty much going to ace the showcase. And then scouts are going to be confused because there's a lot of kids who are as good at baseball as you are, right? But who has this in their baseball bag? I almost said book bag, which is what your baseball bag now has turned into, which is a live action case example development for you. Instead of just watching highlight, drill, shortstop videos, cut, edit, make one. Put a pin in that too, because this video is going to be delicious. Because point number 2 is base camp. When we're talking about a base camp, it is leveling up and then having the new floor be your old ceiling. So when the worst that you can be is what you used to be hoping to get to, that's you leveling up. And the mental side of a base camp is to realize that when you just struck out on 5 pitches, old you would have struck out on 3 pitches. And that's an improvement. Let's say you fouled the ball off and that was your hit. And be heartened to know that foul ball, which later led to a strikeout, is your version of double into coffin corner. If you're a lefty, putting it into the coffin corner, which is deep left field, right on the foul line. So it's basically fair foul. The degree difference, 2 degrees, which is minutia. That is your base camp, and that is your new line of thinking, and that is part of the mental keys of baseball. Superstitions when it comes to offense, tolerable. Being superstitious, religious when it comes to fielding, that's a giant no-no because of the success ratios. Fielding percentage, 98%. If you make an error, just treat it like it's an aberration, right? Being superstitious causes your brain to become worshiping of baseball gods versus being reminded of details that Augie Garrido brings up, which is Harvey Dorfman's book and Psycho-Cybernetics, written by Maxwell Maltz, where we level up to a higher base camp. No superstitions. Time. Maxwell Maltz talks about visualizations. Joe Dispenza talks about becoming supernatural, time distortion, and mental movies. Chapter 8. Don't have all these books in your bag, because then you're going to be just looking like you're going to Harvard, Princeton on an automatic scholarship because you are a pupil of Larry Chang. Pupil, by the way, means student. Time. Jokes, folks. Hilarious jokes. Oh, I didn't laugh. You're not funny. In a way that you get because of time distortion. What is comedy? It's an interruption in the expected. What is baseball? It's a game of failure judged by negative people in a misinformation environment. Do you love baseball? I love baseball. Tom Brady loves baseball. Tom Brady, the human, he loved baseball, but he didn't like managing emotional pitchers. This is time management, and not like, oh, I need to study math class time management. This is time management during game time. The mental movie, the mind movie in visualization. Hal Elrod also talks about this for morning visualizations with savers, silence, affirmation, visualization, exercising, reading, scribing, which is this rep here. With time and being able to slide scale time, with my last video, which was too advanced, trying to play 5D chess, this conversation is to my 14-year-old non-travel ball self, my 12-year-old I'm an all-star because I'm 6'2" in a league of 5'5" people. That's this video is picking up the maturity of time. Okay, being present during a relaxing pastime of baseball, passing time, which is easy when you're 3 for 3 and you're 3 for 3 also in the field. What changes and gets you mentally tested is the mental side of baseball when baseball's not going super well. Step 1, your breath. And I'm not just saying just breathe. This is a specific Indian technique of breathing that I had to pay some white girl hundreds of dollars to learn, okay? Dare I say thousands to learn. Giselle Mari, thank you, okay? And I look forward to your next workshop in Italy. No profit margin there, right? Ujjayi Pranayama breathing, which is like this. When you're stressed or by default, breathing like this all the time. In through the nose, constricting it to the back of your throat. In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. Scouts actually look at this because what are we trying to do with our level of maturity during baseball play, during times of stress? We're trying to impress scouts. What are scouts looking for? Scouts are looking for discipline, confidence, leadership, gratitude, and enjoyment. Are these tick box checks that I have? Yeah, and controlling our breath. Because if we're doing this on the field, we look like we're hyperventilating and we don't instill confidence in our catcher, who is our battery mate, which battery goes to storage of positive energy. So Ujjayi breath, 5 of them together, in through the nose, out through the nose. And then do you hear that ocean? In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose. When you're super stressed, I guess, worst case scenario, you're doing this. Forgivable, okay? But to calm yourself down or to regulate yourself, to hack time. Remember, we're trying to slide scale time by interrupting the hitter's timing if we're a pitcher. What are we trying to do as a hitter? We're trying to be on time. And we can't be on time unless we're letting our gut brain, our brain, our dick brain, and our butt brain, all 4 brains are trying to hit that 5.5 hole. You thought I was going to say homer, right? Homers, I feel guilty hitting because when I hit a homer when I was a kid, I felt guilty because I looked like I was the 19-year-old coming down to 12-year-old league to dominate, okay? So I felt bad, so that's just my own psychological issues, which is why I'm so passionate about the psychology of baseball. I have big stud guilt. That's my mental issue. I just have that as an issue. That's why I love hitting singles. That's why I love leading off as the tallest, slowest, oldest person on on my baseball team. PhD in leadoff psychology to be shipped soon. Body language. Notice when scouts pay attention to after you fail temporarily. All they care about is your body language. Baseball's a game of failure. You're going to fail it sometime. What happens to your body language? Can you fail forward? We can end the video right now, and this will have been your leveling up, because let's go to, because we already aced this video, right? I heard players at every level scold, criticize, and condemn themselves for making a mistake. Harvey Dorfman, this should be in your baseball bag. Scold themselves for making a mistake. Then they tell me they have little self-confidence. It should come as no surprise. Negative self-talk does nothing to build confidence and everything to destroy it. We all make mistakes. We all temporarily fail at baseball. Well, you do. I just ace it, and I actually relish in not making a great play at shortstop, because then I can be like, hey, I didn't know what other people felt after not perfectly executing a play, right? Wow. We all make mistakes. The only way to get better is to tell ourselves what we want to do the next time. Bending time. What we want to do the next time, rather than dwelling on what went wrong moments ago or days ago, since negative self-talk seems to intensify our memory of mistakes and create a fear of repeating them. Let's go into why mentorship, which is installing your coach's brain inside your brain, is important via the next point, yelling, and also what you see as the version of this in front of you. I now quote Augie Garrido inning by inning, and I go to a local college area's baseball games on the road using a reverse season ticket, saying and chirping legendary shit. Why? I think to myself, what if Augie Garrido had baller money to do every road game for Stanford baseball? I think that. And I think, what would he say? He would say some legendarily hilarious and awesome shiitake. He would. That is, in a nutshell, installing your mentor's brain inside your brain. When that happens in baseball, you get to go to your safety college, Harvard, for baseball. You get to go to your safety college, Dartmouth, for baseball. Why? Because adjusting to adjustments, which is back to point number one, is PQRST, which is you taking math class before math class. Did I just explain to you why Chinese kids all ace math class? Yeah, because guess what? The first time you're taking math class is the 5th, 6th, or 9th time I'm taking it. That's like you trying to jack up a 3 right out of bed. This is literally you. You're trying to compete against my 3-point shooting ability with my hip and shoulder timing, where I've already warmed up and I've already made over 100 threes. I've already fielded successfully 100 ground balls at shortstop. And then what are you doing? You're rolling out of bed trying to jack up a 3, hoping to make it. That's you in math class. That's PQRST, preview question read summarize test, courtesy of Tom Brady's mentor, Larry Chang. Hi, have you met me before? Yeah, a little bit of confidence, but guess what? It's from the prep. No drugs, which is also a thing that you want to do. Put a pin in that. Chirp, yelling, and when your coach screams at you, time compression, all together. When your coach yells at you, find your notebook and be like, hey, that's a really good point. Let me write that down. It's hilarious, it's true, and it's kind of a snarky response, but you'll always be able to remember, hey, on the 15th of January, I was getting yelled at for Jack beaning around. Bill Seipel screamed. Okay, well, I've already aced this component of this drill, I believe. How about you? Chirp. When we talk positively on the line, on the baseball field, between the lines, and on the lines, we get to win at baseball because we're constantly monitoring how we're positive. Being loud, being positive, and then never going negative. Visualization, servo mechanism, neurolinguistic programming. Maxwell Maltz's book DJs right into chapter 3, Unlimited Power. And look at how impressed you are by my ability to quote specific chapters and page numbers. Page 35, Keys of Hitting, Harvey Dorfman. Being able to Lecture 19, Engineering 145, Game Plan, Personal Life Plan, Lecture 19, Technology Entrepreneurship, Stanford Engineering 145, is also Game Plan. Remember, Augie Garrido, inning by inning. Larry Chang, pitch to pitch, moment to moment, or just inning by inning. A game plan. When you've got 4 at-bats minimum, or 5 or 8 when you start blowing them out. But it matters where your first 3 at-bats matter. Let's say the book that they have against you is that you're super aggressive and you like first pitch. You need to be able to immediately scout report the opposition scouting you. That is game plan. That is where you, your head coach, your one assistant coach, and not Larry Chang, not your parents, goes into game plan. Because what will happen is your tendencies will be used against you. That's why game plan is not you versus the catcher and the pitcher and the opposition team's pitching coach and their head coach, and then 5 other random boosters that are in a board of directors in opposition against you standing in the batter's box with a bat. Did I just explain why D1 baseball is so competitive? Because when you're in a batter's box with a bat, you better have your brain above the shoulders screwed on correctly. In addition to knowing what your coach would do were he in your exact situation. Because you're not battling against one dude throwing lefty or righty. Yawn, okay? That's easy. He has a book of scout reporting data to use against you. This is why data and game plan, and why I brought Tom Brady into this psychological conversation about baseball while mentioning another dude who connects to Tom Brady, which is Tom House, which is baseball's a game of failure judged by negative people in a misinformation environment. And when we talked about existing pins, let's go over them checkbox checked. Ageless body, timeless mind. It's where we become mature beyond our years. I could give specific examples, but I don't want to appear like I'm name dropping. In short, what you want to do is, if you're a 12-year-old, you want to act and be as mentally mature as your older brother. And if you don't have an older brother, that's why dudes in NBA, NFL, and MLB tend to make the professional level, to make it to the show, is because they have an older brother. Scottie Pippen had 13 older siblings. Michael Jordan had Larry Jordan. Brandon Beck had Tristan Beck. And so our ability to be slightly more mature culminates into, when you are to be drafted, ideally you're mentally as mature as a 40-year-old. The mental side of baseball, when was the last time you got better reading something and then documenting that you got better after the thing that you read. Because that's a question that is going to matter when you're trying to play baseball in college, jumping from high school, because it's hyper competitive and you better be uber mature. What's a sign of self improvement? Again, the question, which is from the last, when I said put a pin in it, it is this: being able to read something and then get better. This is why this is an orgasm of evidence that you deserve to get recruited to your safety school, Harvard, for baseball. Okay? Like, I'm not going to say Bay Area College for baseball, because I think you got to enter the baseball program at Stanford with like a couple of gold medals in the Olympics, not playing baseball, while also being obviously the best baseball player in your state, while having sold the company, while also awesomely doing some jaw-droppingly legendary shiitake, okay? I'm talking about being able to read a thing and then get better at a thing with a YouTube video. You could just do a reaction YouTube video. You're welcome, by the way. This is the psychology of baseball and what they might be teaching you at ABCA, okay, in Omaha, because this is culminating perfectly, amazingly. You watch a video and then you react to that video with just facial expressions. I'll give you a YouTube example exactly from ABCA that's going to tie up the previous, not loose ends, but when I said put a pin in it, because I am myself distorting time, compressing it into a compression algorithm for us to win at baseball. It is this. There is an Augie Garrido ABCA fireside chat that your YouTube channel can quote in a YouTube collab. COALLAB. Kidding. Get it? I'm trying to be dumber than you and smarter than you. Collab. 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 Green screen. What do scouts do? What do D1 coaches do? They check your social media, right? They check your social media. And so, are you going to have embarrassing pictures of you making out with your prom date when you're a freshman and she's a senior? If you're Larry Chang, yes. In which case, Augie's like, I want that guy. I want guys in uniform that look good, that get the best looking women. So, social media. What does your social media look like? Congratulations if that is true for you. But maybe your baseball coach isn't Augie Garrido. This is a slam dunk for any baseball coach. It is this: your full name, your real name, on your YouTube channel, where you edit this Augie Garrido fireside chat from ABCA, American Baseball Coaches Association annual meeting in, I guess, Omaha? I don't know. I don't ever get invited to speak. You edit this video where you clip my mentor, and because you're giving homage to Augie Garrido, some baseball coach who's, surprise, 35 years old to 75 years old, right, says, what the actual fuck? Look, this rando dude who's a middle infielder who bats lefty, who's not average across the board, but average across the board. Not average, but above average, okay? 80, 75. This mother scratcher, look at his social media. He's got 5 clips of Augie Garrido. How does he even know Augie Garrido? Augie Garrido passed away like Augie Garrido was like 80 when you're 1. Now look at what you're doing. You now have a brand. What is your brand? If you're Jeff Kent, you've got below average body parts compared to the horse that you're being compared to. Now you're putting your ladder up against a wall that literally can't be matched because your ladder's up against the wall of a 6'5" Chinese guy who's still surprisingly terrific at shortstop. Free agent, by the way. And yeah, I pitch a little. Does 85, 80, or 75 get you somewhere in the grand scheme of rosters? Memorization, critical. You want to get good at the psychology of baseball? You're going to need to get great at memorizing shit. I'm going to give you 10 words right out of a book called Memory Makes Money, written by Harry Lorraine. Pulled that right out of my butt. 10 words to memorize. 10 words to memorize. Tai, Noah, Ma, Rai, Law, and then Shu, Cow, Ivy, Bee, Toes. You're associating words to new names so that way you seem like you have a really good memory. Problem. You're at some showcase or camp and some old dude tells you, hey, on your backhand, show the elbow. And then you're like, yeah, okay. Whereas, which elbow did you want me to show? My right elbow or my fielding arm? That's called expansion on a prior. So that interaction is every interaction. Hey, kid. Hey, 1-1-1-1-2. Hey, stud from Westlake. Hey, Westlake. Hey, on your backhand, push through the ball, show your elbow. And then the kid goes, yeah. Let's break down how the mental side of baseball goes right from getting coached right into my safety college, Dartmouth, full ride, which I wouldn't go to unless I were depressed and had no other options. But for you, that's your reach. That's your dream. Oh, I want to go to Cornell for baseball because, like, Larry, you're so awesome. This is how. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thankfulness, gratitude. You're welcome. Oh my gosh. You're welcome. Thank you for your thank you. Not just you're welcome. Thank you for your thank you. Some old dude who is got a beer gut belly tells you to elbow push through the ball. And you go, yeah? One, you don't even know who that guy is. That's a problem. Coach McGill, are you talking about, and what you're doing is you're expanding on a prior. Coach McGill, that's, because he's going to be like, what? Coach Nick Enriquez, Coach, how do you even know that guy's name? Let's say, and then you go right to expansion on a prior. Let's say you realistically don't know his name. You at least expand on a prior. Hey, do I push through? Are you talking about my fielding side where you want me to push through? Is that what you're talking about? My left elbow? He's like, yeah, your left elbow. Coach, got it. Mental note, memorization, memory makes money. I want to write a sequel book called My Memory is Getting Me Onto ESPN Again for baseball. Why? Because now what you're doing is you're getting better when you are getting coached. I don't get why people don't get better. Oh, I do know why. Because when I was your age, I didn't do this shit. I was just like, oh, do you even know? Like, yeah, okay. Just completely dismissive on 11 levels of dismissive with your shoes look bad. You're fat. You don't even wear your baseball hat the modern way. When did you play baseball? In like the 2020s? Like that was like 30 years ago. Like we don't wear our baseball hat like that. Baseball is timeless. Baseball is never changing, yet subtly changing. This is a ginormous innovation, which is for us to change our state of mind where we can now be that 40-year-old getting advice, and later we time distort. Hey coach, thanks for that backhand. Can I get your name so that way I can follow up with you and send you video clips of when I mother scratching make that adjustment? Coach, can I? Guess what? You are now at the top of his list, even though you suck at playing catcher, okay? You just put catcher down because you want that automatic scholarship. You're not Kody Huff. You're not even, you've watched 4 coaching videos on catching, yet now on the catcher chart, depth chart 2, because you're not playing shortstop. I got 7 of them, okay? What I need, Coach, can I get your name? Thanks for that feedback. Hi, I'm Larry Chang. I was playing shortstop, by the way. Yeah, I know. The one with the cannon? Thanks. Yeah. But yeah, my glove can improve. Can you review what you meant by lead with the elbow? And so thanks for that tip. I try to incorporate that for my next 6 subsequent ground balls. Can you tell me your full name? And maybe can I get your email address? I'm going to go ahead and write it on the back of my book. You are now that dude who can walk into any dating app and pick up Kody. You're holding the book right in front of him going, Coach, tell me your email address. Is this hilarious? Yes, it is. Are we going to win at, I almost said entrepreneurship. Are we going to win at baseball? Yeah. This is what they will teach you at ABCA in the future because of memory. Tai, Noah, Ma, Rai, Law, Shu, Cow, Ivy, B, Toes. Associate those words with 10 new things, and then we together can ace baseball from the bench, because we don't start at shortstop, we don't start at catcher, and we don't start at pitcher. But we're going to be super well prepared for when we do get that opportunity, because we're positively chirping and saying shiitake that Augie Garrido would say if he were hoping to go to Dartmouth or Cornell as his safety school.